house. Once again. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
It's OG Lee. It's UNDE. Old school, new school.
Got me a burr.
And we back with another one, baby.
Got me a burr sitting over her.
With a burr sitting over her, gonna burr like Gucci in a fur. But hey, how are you today, OG Lee? That's how we kick these things off. How are you doing, brother?
Doing good, man.
Doing good?
Doing good.
You doing
Couldn't
good?
ask for a better life.
Ooh.
Couldn't
ask
Everything
for
is
better.
hunky-dory.
Where does that originate from? Who is Dory?
I got a cousin named Dory, but I don't think it came from her.
She didn't originate? Hunky Dory. And you're hunky. That's happy.
Is that hunky?
I'm asking, bro. You said it. I'm trying to pick up what you put.
I've heard of funky, but I didn't know about hunky.
A hunky Dory.
That's one we gotta look up, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some research.
I'm sure that came from, Germany or some shit like that. Hunky Dory.
Oh, I'm not even thinking about it.
I don't think this shit came from Africa.
A different country.
Hunky Dory. That don't even sound like African, man.
Let's see the meaning. They said it's a phrase that means satisfactory or fine. Okay.
Everything is
Often
hunky
used
dory
in American context, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a hunky dory movie.
In American context, that means the white folks made that up.
The European folk.
Why couldn't they just say fine?
You gotta switch it up, bro.
What's the origin? It says
It said no agreed derivation. Derivation, like it derived.
Yeah,
I derived. I never said that word.
There's
derivation.
no agreed place that it derived
of the expression.
It's
Yeah.
American and the earliest example of
collection of U.S. songs.
Oh man! In other words, some white folks started saying that for a while, and then it played out.
Yeah, it was hitting for a little minute.
Yeah, it hit because for me to know it, you know what I'm saying. So I must have been around some white folks
in
the day or something. It's like everything's hunky dory, Leroy. Don't worry about it.
That's in your bag.
Yeah, it is, man. From back in the day, and that really wasn't no nigga shit right there, man. So what's going on with you, man? Everything good?
Everything's good with me, brother. Kind of like you, man. It could be better necessarily, if I wanted everything.
That's what we
wish for, but it's like.
That's what we always used to say, anybody coming up, how you doing? Fine. How's your mama? Fine. Everybody was fine and shit.
Do people want to hear the sad stuff, really? Nobody.
They don't.
Come on now.
Because most of the time they probably say, I'm not in the position, you know what I'm saying? It can't help you, you know what I'm saying?
It starts getting a little dark, man. You don't even want to hear all that. But not even in my situation. I was just kind of speaking in general for everyone.
What you mean, my situation? You got a situation going on?
No, I'm saying, my aspect of it, I wouldn't say like it would get dark like I was saying. I would just, things like that, man. Just the American way. Of course, people could use more money. That's the thing. Other than that, family's healthy, happy. Things
and
like
never
that
get
are
enough
good.
money, you know what I'm saying? So you
It's
might
impossible.
as well just milk life for what it's worth, man, and be happy with the sunshine. Yeah.
And I had a topic, kind of that old school deliberated with, new school kind of was rocking with it. You were saying the importance of establishing a good track record. What you mean by that, bro?
Man, they got these people out there now. I guess it's been going on for some years now, where they promise you that they can, make your credit score get higher or whatever, and take some stuff off of your credit report or whatever. And some people have made a business of this.
Credit repair.
Yeah. But whenever I see that, because I guess some of them can legitimately do some things, and then some of them are just a gimmick, like a lot of things. But the idea is, the best way to do your credit and to manipulate your scores to the upside really is to pay your bills.
Pay them folks.
It'll go into, people saying that there's a percentage that goes for your credit history, a percentage that goes for your credit repayment, and blah, blah, blah. But the overall gist of it is to pay back the people who you owe, they'll be on the record. And that's how your score will increase accordingly. You know what I'm saying? You take out some debt, pay it back. Take out some debt, pay it back. Take out some debt. If you keep doing that, eventually you'll have some older credit, But don't try to game the system, with all of these quick fixes.
Yes.
Do it like that, and then that's the same thing as socially also getting a good track record.
That's what I was about to say. Is credit one of the most, or would you say the most important track record, or what would you consider if you had to break it down socially, credit, and I'd say probably the other one.
I don't know how it works, but I know. Say that last word again.
Like employment, maybe like your work history type of deal. Yeah. Probably top those three.
First I would go with your credit in terms of money, finance, borrowing, that kind of thing. I would get that in order because that's where you got to really reach out to people, and they don't want to hear no shit. It's all like on paper. Yep, you know what I'm saying? So the social is good too, man, to get that going so that people can depend on you and vice versa. They know how you're going to come. Yeah, it's very important, man. And then the employment, of course. Once you have habits, you know what I'm saying? They kind of bleed over into other areas of your life.
That is,
and that's
very
what
true.
that is. One of those countries, I think China. They do something called social scores that they've got. I don't know the full gist of it, so we ain't gonna talk about all that shit.
Oh, we looking into
that's
that.
What we coming to. That's what they were going. Yeah, they got social scores in China.
And credit scores, or just credit scores don't exist?
Well, the social scores, I think, it's all incorporated.
Kind of interchangeable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to have like your credit to be a part of your overall social scores. Because you got different areas, and then it makes up one, I think, composite like score or whatever.
China's always.
But I was hearing these politicians saying that's what America's coming to. That's what made me even think about that.
Yeah. Can I hit you with a new school?
Hit me with your best shot.
Hit me with your best. All right. So it gets a little dark, right? Say you're on death row. They say,
somebody set me up.
They say, OG Lee,
because I wouldn't be on death row for killing nobody.
We would like for you to give us your favorite meal request as your last meal.
They wouldn't have to go far.
They can make whatever you ask for. Guaranteed, it's gonna be bon appetit. What are you gonna request? And we can even say a 3-course meal if it'll be hard for you to break down.
I'm telling you, this will be my meal.
Meal.
Bring me a loaf of bread and some Kool-Aid.
Bruh.
I'm not bullshitting you.
And that's how you go out?
Bring me a loaf of bread and some
I don't
Kool-Aid.
even know the last time I seen you drink Kool-Aid. Do you even drink Kool-Aid?
Nah, I don't. But if they didn't have Kool-Aid, you could give me like a soda. You know what I'm saying? Or you could even give me sugar water.
They got whatever you're asking for, they got it for you, bro.
All I want, I'm telling you, is a loaf of bread and really something sweet to drink behind it. I say Kool-Aid because I know that taste. If I'm going to die, I want some kind of, give me some shit that I can remember. Give me some, So I would do Kool-Aid if they had it, which if not, sugar water. Because believe it or not, bread is my favorite meal. It really is.
Interesting.
It's my favorite meal. And
Interesting.
The softer, the loaf, the better. But yeah, there was times, man, I promise you, I that's what I used to eat, man. For whatever meal I was trying to eat at that time. Mm-hmm. It was bread, you know what I'm saying? And I just got used to bread, man.
And that's how you rock. What's your favorite kind of bread, bro?
It was always just like a regular kind of a white bread type deal. But now my man's mom's, they was from Trinidad, and she used to cook. She used to make her own bread from scratch. and that's the first person I ever saw that they used to keep. She used to keep her bread in a pillowcase, you know, and put it up on top
Always?
of in a pillowcase, in a cloth pillowcase. But man, that was some of the best bread. And then she would make a version called sweet bread.
That's some Trinidadian tricks.
Yeah, but any kind of bread, man. No, that was like to keep it fresh. You know, they used to keep it in a pillowcase.
I know.
But
Trinidad trick.
yeah, man, shit, that used to be some good bread when I could get some of that. But that, and also for the people who know from New York, hero bread. You know, when it's good and soft, you know what I'm saying? I could eat that too. But just Wonder Bread, man. You know,
bread
good, soft
and
Wonder
Kool-Aid,
Bread.
bro.
And some Kool-Aid, man.
There's no
I would do a soda, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to go to the electric chair or whatever, go belching and shit like that. So I'm gonna just do Kool-Aid or sugar water. And I'm serious, I would be happy with that. I don't want all of that shrimps, eggs, steak. I don't want none of that bullshit. Just give me some good bread. I'm real easy to get along with.
Me some
even
nice,
in death.
Some nice barbecue ribs, bro. Do them right. I'm going soul food out, bro.
Soul food out?
Ribs. I need me some yams, some nice greens, cornbread.
I guess if I would have wanted all that, man, I probably wouldn't have did what I did. I would have kept my ass free. You know what I'm saying? I asked for all that on fucking death row shit.
I want it all, man. How many courses we doing? I might even start.
And you might as well just stuff yourself. It's not like you're gonna be sick the next day.
What are we eating bread and Kool-Aid for? I'm going first. I'm going breakfast, lunch.
You will not be sick the next day, no matter what you eat.
I'm going to
you ain't gotta worry
dinner.
about it.
Oh man,
how you dying, man?
How am I dying? I get to choose.
Is it electric chair or is it they gonna shoot you? You firing squad? Give you a fucking injection?
I think they go injection style now. Firing squad. I think they got in a couple states, probably like Montana. And
I think Utah has it or something.
Yeah, Mormon stuff. Mormon things.
And it's about 6 motherfuckers or so that fires at them, so they don't know which bullet killed them or her. Yeah.
And I do know some of them have blanks. Some of them have actual bullets.
Yeah, but I tell you one thing.
Still keeping death.
Whoever they getting, they ain't going to survive that shit. You know how when they do the injection, sometimes it messes up or they say that the person convulsed too long before they died. And, you know, they make a big deal over that. If the person convulsed and all that too long before they died, they really suffered. Even though they was somebody they put to death for killing
What's the time frame?
The whole family or whatever.
An
I don't know. I would think that
should be dead.
With the convulsing. Yeah. Some of them they said sometime like minutes, like maybe like 5-8 minutes or something like that. Wow. All frothy at the mouth and shit like that. But they know they meant for them to do that. They want the person to die like that. Yeah, and probably rightfully so, depending on what they did. Shit, why would they have a nice, comfortable death?
Should get them on out of here. Should they? You think they should suffer a little bit?
They should go and you know inject them with what they inject everybody else with. You don't know how a person's gonna react. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happens when those people live longer and do all the frothing and the convulsing and all that type of shit. Their body just reacted differently. You know what I'm saying? But you know they let some of the people, like if he kills somebody, they let some of the people's family see the execution, right? So I would be happy to see that if he killed somebody in my family. You know what I'm saying? I'd be very happy to see him convulsing out, man. As a matter of fact, I would be like, you know, I would get me a ringside seat. Just watch that motherfucker convulse out.
Popcorn?
I wouldn't do the popcorn, man.
Yeah, it'd be kind of sick to eat.
Yeah, because I don't do the popcorn at movies and shit. I might do some. I'll do Twizzlers and shit.
Like a chicken
I'll
wing?
do Twizzlers. I'll do Twizzlers on his ass. Yeah.
Twizzler. That's your go-to movie candy?
Yeah.
It's a nice Twizzler.
If I could sneak them in and shit. My wife put them in, you know,
that's easy money. Twizzlers are easy money, boy. Yeah. You get those in for sure.
I always thought, even still, if I ran a movie theater, that I could make more money if I sold the candy cheaper, I would think. You know? Because there's always a thing of selling candy for $4 and $5. I thought, man, just like the dollar store, If you could sell
Mark
it,
it
maybe
down
not
and
$1,
run it up.
but a little bit more, but a lot less than they sell it for now, I figure you'd have people just back. Because I don't care if they see the movie or not. They paid, so, it seemed like more people would go back and forth up into the thing there.
That's an interesting.
But yeah, for years, it just seems like it stayed that way. And, I mean, they got to know. And people sneaking their own shit in. They're not paying for this high-ass candy. I mean, some people are, but
$8
you could sell so much more to me if you lowered the price. So.
Ridiculous.
But who am I? Because they've been doing that shit for a long time, so they probably...
you OG Libra.
I don't know, man.
You old school over there, man.
So what? We gonna open up a movie theater?
Oh, that would be... I feel like it's kind of one of those things, you get the startup costs and then it kind of rolls.
The last time I went, man, I hadn't went in a little minute. And they had the seats, man, that just like reared back all the way. It was so I would have fell asleep except it was Bob Marley.
Oh, it was a song.
One Love.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, what's your most recent movie? That's it.
Any other movie, man, I would have been asleep, man. I would have been snoring.
Oh, this right here, I was thinking about earlier in the week because I heard somebody on social media talking about it, but they reference like, I'm a Libra or I'm an Aquarius. Old school used to do that. Back in the day, with you're on the Zodiac Signs. So that's not.
But I mean, not to the point where, it was like real deep.
Like
you know what I'm saying? People always ask you what's your sign and shit like that. They even had a song about it called "Float On." Right? Cancer, and my name is Larry. Now I like a woman that's blah blah blah.
Oh, my boy's a freak.
Float On, man. That was the shit back then.
Yeah.
Floaters, the best album. They might have been their only album.
Oh, they were a group.
They were the Floaters, and that particular jam was called Float On. If I think I got that right.
Were we 80s? That's that vibe.
No, that would have been 70s.
We got a group.
That would have been 70s, I think.
They all used to dress the same color.
Do the steps and shit like that. Niggas should have kept that going instead of all this damn rap shit.
I think it's gonna come back.
What a major difference in music, man.
It's gonna come back.
Going from nah, it won't go. It won't come back, man. You know why?
It will, bro. It's like we can't.
The reason it won't come back is because to do that type of shit, you had to practice. You know what I'm saying? You had to take time out and practice to get all that shit coordinated.
So you don't think in 20 years, bro, shit comes back around. It always does, bro. It always does.
I like to. What do you think will happen in 20 years with this culture right now?
Freak balls.
I definitely don't see them.
People are gonna be interested though. Very open minded. It's gonna be interesting, bro.
Yeah, I thought about some kids because this lady, she was saying that her kid was homeschooled, and I just thought, after 12, and I was asking her like, what do they have? Do they have to go to school at any point?
Yeah.
To kind of socialize with others. She's like, no.
College.
So just imagine, and that was her only kid at that time. So just imagine going through 12 plus years of homeschooling, if you don't have another outlet, especially, imagine what your socialization is going to be like. And I just start thinking about like a movie or something like that, to where after a while you get a bunch of people together for like the whole part of their life, the whole first, 18 years of their life, they haven't really socialized with people. Then they get in an environment where they have to just all of a sudden socialize. And just to watch that interaction as it unfolds.
Your brain will short circuit, boy. Process.
But that's weird though, because that's what's happening now. You know what I'm saying? And I just thought about that.
In mass though, not in mass. More.
Well, it's a lot of people that are being homeschooled. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the nationwide.
What's the percentage you think? You think it's a lot? Like,
I think
more than 10?
10%?
No way.
I think so. I think so. I would say at least 20% of American students are being homeschooled. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would think that.
And it was like that pre-COVID or post-COVID, you're saying like right now? Did COVID change that?
I think it went up after COVID.
Yeah. Rightfully.
Because the little kids are like, I'm not going back to school, mommy.
I can do this. Parents like, I can do this. No way. That would have been a stressful time. I didn't have that size kids during that time.
Yeah, it seemed like that would have been stressful when you think about going back, especially if it was like going back at that point to a new school because you moved up a level
No,
or
yeah, you're
whatever.
transitioning like junior high, high school. That would have been interesting.
But I know that COVID created a lot more dumb little summer bitches, man. I'm telling you, because to take school, because I did it during COVID, which was helping the kids read.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that distance thing, and it's not the same attention span or any of that. So if you go through a year and for sure two of not having that with the teacher, and then if you got like a attention deficit,
ADHD coming.
if you got anything like that, and you need somebody to keep you on task, it's just terrible, man. So some of these kids, realistically, they will have lost two, at least, grade levels in terms of their reading and their math, if not more. So it's interesting to figure out, because once that time comes and they are asked to do tasks, they're gonna be the people at the bottom of the echelon, man.
Lower functioning.
Yeah, and that's important, because now a lot of the lower functioning jobs are just not there, and by the time they get up there, they certainly will have said to hell with all of this human blah blah blah, all this sympathy. We getting robots, you know what I'm saying? Because they could do that now in so many ways. They're just trying to save, let people have still people have jobs,
I feel like that is kind of happening though, like just branching people away from like human interaction.
Yeah, it's
just
happening.
Like slowly, like to be fine with just not seeing people hardly ever. Once
and what you call them did it, man? COVID.
Yeah, that's when people start getting to that conspiracy.
I don't know if it was just necessarily a conspiracy, but anyway you look at it, it happened, and it changed our lives forever, man.
The face of America
changed our lives forever, forever. It did, man. It really did,
bruh. Can I tell you something that changed my life forever?
Well,
oh my God, I'm living my life, bruh.
Living your life like it's golden.
Like it's golden.
That's good,
and I
man.
get the news. Are you familiar with the story of Pinocchio?
I know it a little bit, but I always looked at it as a kid and just was amused by it, like a lot of other kiddie shit.
Mm-hmm.
And never really absorbed the actual story.
That's how I'm saying. Like I'm aware of it.
This is what I would say about Pinocchio.
Uh-huh.
The only thing, and the gist I got out of Pinocchio is when he would lie, his nose would grow. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that was meant to be, but it's like, to me as a kid, if you lie, your nose is gonna grow. Mm-hmm. So that's the Pinocchio for me.
Yeah, but I knew a little bit deeper. I didn't know Geppetto, who was like because he's a puppet. He got made by the Geppetto guy. I didn't know that.
Pinocchio got made by Geppetto.
And he wanted to be a real boy. That was
so like, Geppetto was a puppet and made a puppet?
No, Geppetto's like a puppet, kind of like toy creator type of
guy. So a person that made puppets. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Geppetto. I've heard that.
And then Pinocchio was, a puppet his thing, he made. Like he wanted to be a real boy. And then I don't even know how the lion part came into the nose growing. I didn't know that. But the origin I heard, bro.
Oh, you missed the whole lion part on Pinocchio?
No, I knew that, but what was the reason for that? That was just like something that Geppetto kind of input. He lied, his nose grow. I knew that, but I didn't know like.
I don't know who put it in, Geppetto or who. Yeah. Geppetto was the storyteller too.
No, he's because Pinocchio's fake. He got like built, like put together.
Right. So I'm saying, so Geppetto told a story about Pinocchio, right? Or who told a story about
that,
Pinocchio?
I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know.
But anyway, I heard if you lie, your nose will grow. That was what I remember on Pinocchio with the long pointy nose, and then you look, it's longer,
But Pinocchio, they're saying, bro, is originally like not happy, like scary type of story. And
Pinocchio was black?
No, Pinocchio was a doll that was created by Geppetto. Mm-hmm. But Geppetto was like a slave master and used to make dolls i.e., Pinocchio, out of slave like skin faces and stuff like that.
And he was a slave master.
Yeah.
So he just
that was the original. Of
he
the
just
story.
had
Like,
some
Pinocchio's
crazy
like this
hobbies
slave.
and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you a slave master, you know what I'm saying, you like got plenty money, I guess, right? So why would you sit down and make puppets? Because that, I guess, was a craft for him.
Yeah.
He made puppets out of slave skin.
And then Pinocchio kind of like was like a possessed doll that apparently
so Pinocchio
had been seen
was made with
around.
that skin, and then he came to life. So that's why I asked if Pinocchio was black. So he had to be black.
I guess so.
We need to bring this to the public schools. Don't take that out.
No,
Pinocchio was black. Hey.
They're getting that out of there.
Everything that a lot of times it seems like you finding out the origin of it is black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I was gonna say, with that said, bro, is it almost safe to say that anything's created earlier in this country are rooted in racism? For the most part, like.
But now I think
because I thought Pinocchio was a happy story. It's like I go back and it's like, oh,
Pinocchio is not like American though, is it? I thought it was like Italian and shit like that. Because it wasn't no American named Geppetto and shit.
A Walt Disney type. I don't know. I thought it was one of those.
So it's fiction then, huh?
Fiction for sure, but kind of originated. Most of the fiction is based off of something. Just like all the stories.
Wait a minute.
Go back and kind of research.
If it's fiction, that means it was made up, right?
Mm-hmm. Not real characters, not based on.
So if it was fiction, then how did the black skin come into making the puppets?
So you don't think some fiction stories are based off of like an original like basis?
But who told that story about it?
That's what I said. So maybe Walt Disney. I know
Walt Disney told a story about it being black skin.
Bro, you know Pinocchio.
Yeah.
That story was told by Walt Disney.
Right.
The original story of how Pinocchio came about was, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So who's telling us how the original story, how Pinocchio came about?
Like, are you saying Walt Disney or who told the story before?
Well, no.
Walt Disney. It's like you're asking me like, who came up with wine?
No. I'm saying Walt Disney's version was just about, I thought, starting from Geppetto doing Pinocchio and going from there with a story. But if you're saying that Pinocchio was made out of black people's skin or whatever, where did that come in at? Like Walt Disney never put that part out, right? So where did that part come from?
I mean, most of the stuff like that is turned into a children's story. They don't say the racist backstory of any of it. Is that what you?
No, what I was thinking is that Walt Disney, like Tyler Perry or anybody, sat down and thought about this type of shit, right? And then made up these characters with it being fiction, right? Mm-hmm. So where does the part come in? Because Walt Disney never talked about the puppets being made out of skin from black slaves, right?
Why would he?
It's his story he made up out of his head, right? So who coming in and said, oh, now, because he probably just said it was this guy named Geppetto. Once upon a time, there was a guy named Geppetto. You know, and Geppetto made this slave named Pinocchio, blah, 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 right? Yeah. But he probably didn't say nothing like, well, the puppets were made out of skin from black slaves, right?
You say he should have kept that part in?
No, I'm saying since that wasn't in his original thing, who put that part in about that?
Nobody. I mean, so you're saying.
So where'd you hear that from? In other words, it's just like right now, if we know of an old, story or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Then somebody comes along and adds something to it that we never heard of. Yeah. You would ask the question, oh, okay, well, like, even if you really were trying to look it up in history, where did that come from? Who's saying that? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're saying me to like cite my sources is what you're.
Right, because I never heard that story about that Pinocchio was made out of skin from black slaves.
Yeah, so I hadn't either. That's what
where did this come from?
Like a Google search. I really looked it up after I heard the word of mouth. But that's just what I heard, bro.
So, but like now, when the puppets came to life, possessed or something like that. What did they?
Just the one. I only heard about Pinocchio.
So now, what did Pinocchio do based on? I guess,
bro, you asked me stuff. I don't know, bro.
So, because I thought you was gonna say, "Hey, they made Pinocchio out of black skin. He came to life and was like, oh, yeah, you motherfuckers made me out of a puppet out of black skin." So all of a sudden, they started his little thing about what is it, like voodoo type shit? Or,
that's what old school's supposed to help me out, bro. You were supposed to know that. You supposed to be like, oh yeah, Pinocchio. Yeah, I did know that, and then I actually heard.
You put the new version, the political version, into it, man.
No, bro, you do your research, bro. You supposed to tell me this, bro.
I just knew about the happy-go-lucky.
The Walt Disney version.
I knew about the happy-go-lucky, and I thought it was a thing on lying. Don't lie if your nose will grow. You know what I'm saying?
That's what they tried to tell you, but they didn't want to tell you the first part.
I didn't know that first part. They don't
always tell you about. Why you acting so brand new? Like you didn't. Oh, the original part. I never knew that.
I never knew about that part. Somebody
trying to make it disappear.
Somebody put it in the comments or something like that, man. To tell me about Pinocchio being made out of skin from black slaves.
I heard it. I'm not saying it's fact. It's just what I heard, bro. OG Lee just started trying to erase the history.
Now, so wait. I had never met no nigga with a name Pinocchio. Not even close.
That's why.
How did they name him Pinocchio if the nigga if he was black?
Ask Geppetto, bro. I don't know. That's a freaky
and
shit
Geppetto,
he was into.
Was Geppetto black?
If he's a slave master, probably not. So I think it was an American base.
Because I was gonna say that's another. This sounds like it took place in Italy somewhere. Pinocchio and Geppetto.
Possible. I think there were slaves in Italy. Were there?
I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
Because you know, they tried to go over to Africa. Italy did. They got their ass kicked. You know what I'm saying?
Italy?
Yes, Italy got his ass kicked by Ethiopia.
Oh, what year?
Man, that was like 18 something in the 1800s.
Oh, in the one of them early ones.
Or it may even been after that. Yeah, after that. I'm gonna say 1930s. Mussolini and Haile Selassie, all of that type of stuff. The Ethiopian army fought back the Italians. They really did. That's some shit you can look up.
I definitely gotta look that up, bro. Which makes me think.
But anyway, I gotta look further into this whole Pinocchio shit, man, because that's a new version of it that I never knew about, man. You see, you taught me something.
Hey, bro. Matter of fact, y'all give us a like, comment, subscribe, bro. Maybe go do a little research for yourself. We about to take us a break and look into this Pinocchio, bro. Like I said, I just heard a little bit of it. We gonna check it out, see what it do. It's
Pinocchio.
UNDE, bro. We gonna be right back.
Which one of them was it that got caught in the whale?
Hey, and
back.
We are back, baby.
Batman.
Hey, you know I had to do some research. Like I said, bro, I heard. Shout out to Lola Lux. I heard, but they saying I didn't find any evidence of the Pinocchio being made from slave skin. There was an origin of Pinocchio being like a slave to Geppetto.
As I was saying, a metaphorical thing, because Geppetto made him and then working his whole everything with whatever.
I did see that.
But Pinocchio could have been from Africa, because everything came from Africa. Remember they told us that? Mm-hmm. But yeah, them names Geppetto and Pinocchio, I was telling you, no brothers was named.
Italiano.
Yeah.
Italiano.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But Geppetto was a hell of he was a wood craftsman. Mm-hmm. You know, I didn't see anything about a slave master. That's why I'm saying, where's all of this come from? And people, they can change things over time. Because I didn't see anything about the slave master.
Yeah, just more out there. I guess metaphorical, because he is kind of like a slave too. He would be his said master.
But making up stories, especially if you're a good storyteller, making up stories and maybe piggybacking off of other people's stories, it makes people a livelihood. That's why you see all of this shit on YouTube and all of that, where they start beefs and people that a lot of times they don't even know each other, never seen each other. Before you know it, somebody's in the middle and got an interesting, dialogue going now about some shit that never even happened. But that's, it's Hollywood in America, whatever.
You been checking in on your boy Trump lately?
Yeah, man. I tell you what, man. When Trump, I think that when Trump when Trump is caught as in session, and when they take a break and shit like that, I think Trump gotta go to the jail cell and shit.
You gotta go sit down for a little bit.
Yeah, until they, reconvene or whatever they, it is they do. But yeah, they treat him like a criminal and shit,
Like
man.
he
Until
did.
like the end of the thing, he can go back. He goes back out because he's out now, I guess, technically on bail or whatever.
So that's right now. Trump is going to the cell. You said that's
in between, like not to stay, but like in between the procedural type things,
Oh, so like when they're calling him up, about to call him up.
No, I think like when they take different kind of breaks and stuff like that. You first got to go through being like detained, and then somebody who you can then come get you from the jail cell or something like that.
He's not squatting, coughing or anything yet. He's just kind of
not yet. Yeah. He's probably in the preliminary holding cells or whatever.
Haven't even got any fingerprints here. They fingerprinted him up.
I don't know, and I really don't even know what I was just saying, but I made it up. It sounds good. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you, that's how stories start.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And then this person tells that person, they say, hey, you heard about such and such? None of it's not even true, man.
Look, that's how old school does new school right there, bro.
But you know what,
Don't lead us astray, bro.
Yo, I have never heard in all my life a nigga named Geppetto or Pinocchio since that thing. And that's weird. I figured some nigga named it some Pinocchio.
No.
Geppetto or something like
Pinocchio.
that. No. They would do it, man.
Oh my God.
But
maybe Pino might work.
Something like that or Geppetto. I can see somebody naming their son Geppetto.
A little Jeppy.
Because we thought it was crazy when we was coming up. I had a guy in the neighborhood, his name was Jose, a black guy. And we always thought that was, at that time in the 60s, a nigga named Jose.
Even now, I feel like a black guy named Jose.
Yeah. And see, the Puerto Ricans in New York where I grew up, they would name their sons Jesus. Black folk never, I never found Jesus is Jesus. But so all Americans,
is Jesus?
Jesus is Jesus in Spanish. But all of the Americans know it as Jesus. So, we don't, hey, Jesus, we just call him Jesus, But I never met a brother named Jesus. But the Hispanics will name their son Jesus in a minute.
Christianity and Catholicism, I think, would be that.
Yeah, but the Puerto Ricans, they're like, Catholics and I guess what you would just consider Christians, They named their son Jesus. I guess that's like the highest thing. That's like the highest honor you could give your son.
They don't name.
Then he turns out to go start banging and shit like that. It's like, damn, Jesus, what the hell?
It's like Maria and not Mary. I feel
that's the same thing.
But they don't call him just straight like Mary, right?
Maria is her name in Spanish.
I'm saying like, isn't it Saint Mary? If they call it Saint Maria, is that how it works?
There's a Saint Mary, I believe, but they don't go through all that in like the Hispanic people.
That's not Catholic.
They just they got churches and all that shit named Saint Mary's or whatever.
I know, but they don't name their daughters Mary, right?
Yeah, they name Maria. Yeah, they
okay. Do they call it Saint Mary or Saint Maria?
Well, probably in their language it would be Saint Mary, Santa Maria. Yeah,
okay, that's what I was trying to say.
Because they don't know.
I'm saying that would be kind of like the Jesus and pronunciation type. I would be like respect. I don't know.
Right, they call him Jesus, right? Yeah, but the American translation or English translation is Jesus or Mary, right?
But Jesus is it the same in Catholicism? I don't know.
The same what? Same story?
Same Son of God type of deal.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. Yeah, and they learned it from the Europeans.
Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jesus. Bruh. But why do you think black people never name their son Jesus? I don't know no white Christians. I don't know no white Christians or Catholics or whatever that name their sons Jesus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, the Catholics.
They don't get struck down by the Lord, bro.
No, but why the Hispanics, the Puerto Ricans that I knew, they didn't get struck down. It was a name. His name is Jesus. I only met one in my lifetime, so it's not like there are a bunch of them are named that, but they do name their sons Jesus. Yeah.
This is an interesting one.
That make you want to have to behave at some point when you finally start getting it. You know what I'm saying?
If that's your actual name? Or
Yeah, after a while when you start getting, my name is Jesus and shit. Damn, I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can only go so far.
I gotta get it together. Man.
Shit, that'd like to give you a lifetime guilt trip and shit. Name nigga Jesus. I guess that's why they don't name him Jesus. They know that you couldn't have no fun with your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I'm Jesus, man. I can't do that. I'm shots. Jesus.
WWJD, huh?
Yeah, I can't do that. What would Jesus do?
People are asking, bro.
I love Jesus, though.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
You just don't know how Jesus has saved me. My God, my God.
Chill out, bro. See, he over here playing with my God, bro. He over here playing with him, man. Yeah. Chill out, OG Lee, bro. You about to.
If I show you that,
the schoolie's about to turn up on you.
That video of the little kid that was mocking the preacher. Did you see it?
I probably have.
Yeah, and it just shows you. I mean, with all due respect to that that's a program. You know what I'm saying? I think he's 3 or 4 years old, and he's doing the preaching with the breathing and doing the whole black preacher thing. Mm-hmm. And if he keeps that up, and he does it as he's going along and realize people put money in the plate for me, after a while, hey, the kid's gonna be doing that, not knowing if he believes that or not, but that just became a part of him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bro, look, we was talking about Catholicism and Christianity.
Yeah, man.
It brought to me.
I join you now with the shades.
I know, join the gang. I need to update my squad of shades over here. Yeah. But Catholicism, Christianity, it made me think of the word of the day, which
word of the day,
the good old word of the day. This was
word of the day
that OG Lee told me to kind of make sure I had in my bag.
Oh my goodness, what is it?
This one was monolith. Right, and two separate definitions. One, a single great stone, often in the form of a monument or column.
Black people are not a monolith.
Or the latter, something large and powerful, in parentheses, a political organization that is thought to function as a unified whole, acting and thinking the same as a whole group.
That's the one I've always heard people say. Black people are not a monolith. That's where I heard that word from.
That is true.
And I don't know. For power, you got to kind of be monolithic. Oh, I pulled that from that. You got to be monolithic, man. If you really want to yield power, sometimes you got to submit, and that's something that we don't really want to do. So,
you think that's one of our biggest problems with not being a monolith? Not one
biggest. Sometimes you got to do that. You know what I'm saying? When you really want to, win some wars. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be all on one accord.
Can't all be chiefs.
Man, you be the chief at home. You know what I'm saying? When you come, you're out in public and you're all trying to make a point. Have one person that's leading the situation, and you're all standing behind that. You know what I'm saying? That's power in money, especially like that, and all kinds of political power. When you just, as they say, strength is in numbers.
Yeah. Strength is in numbers.
For sure, man.
For sure, man. For sure, man.
And the church said?
Yeah. Was that a sentence, or are we going to count that as a sentence?
Amen. Monolithic? Yeah, I don't know one. You give me one, man. But I get that's the only one I've ever heard. And then, that's probably the only way I'll ever use it. If I hear them talking about black people in some kind of political way, black people are not a monolith.
Oh, yeah. You can go for that right
and
there.
They'll be like, oh, he knows the code word.
Black people can't always agree on a common goal. Therefore, they're not a monolith.
Right. And even though you're not, if you look at some of the other groups, of course you wouldn't think they all agree. But on certain things, we stand in what they call solidarity. You know what I'm saying?
A key point of said monolith, eh?
That'd be interesting to think about. when they stopped that, because that used to be, I told you, a holiday called Black Solidarity Day.
For real?
For real. Up until and I don't even remember, but it's all on the record. Up until like, I think they may have stopped it in the mid-70s or something like that. But it followed, whole civil rights and everything.
Everybody participated? Or was it just
a lot of people did, to where nobody went to school, nobody shopped on that day or whatever. And so I don't know.
Did other races participate?
Other races, like most things. It mainly was, at that time, when you say other races, the
white people,
Hispanic, and what we knew, like in New York where it was celebrated, it was Puerto Ricans, And I don't really know how they felt about it. They probably was like, if it was school, the students was down to miss school, probably. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I don't know how the Puerto Rican people dealt with it. But black people, no work, no school. And it had to probably start affecting them, because I don't know who black would have said, let's do away with it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's interesting. It's on the record somewhere.
What did you do? Like, what did y'all do on the day?
When you were school, you kind of understood, because it was, at the time it was doing that. I think I might have been in like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. So you didn't really totally understand what the whole solidarity thing was about. Mm-hmm. You just knew it's Black Solidarity Day. And we didn't like do anything historical, that kept going throughout the lineage. Obviously they cut it off and we just stopped doing it.
All right, we're good.
It wasn't like, hey, we got to do this. My father's mother used to do it. It was like, they were able to cut that shit off. But that'd be interesting to see what stopped it. Because there used to be literally a legit holiday, Black Solidarity Day in America.
That's an interesting one.
But, and we, you know what? I will have forgot about it, because there's several things that I said, we got to look that up and research that, and forgot all about them. We never come back to them. So we might come back to this, maybe not.
We got to check it out. We got a couple things. We checked out Pinocchio. That was the other thing we said we were coming back to. But Black Solidarity Day, I just want to check it out just for myself. But hey, this is a father-son podcast, right?
Yes, indeed.
And in the sports world, there's some father-son shit going on right now with the LeBron and the Bronny James. Have you been seeing it?
I really haven't, man. But I know, is it this year for his son to come out?
He's kind of like in some combine kind of stuff right now from what I was seeing, which I haven't been day to day like that, but he's like in the NBA combine working out.
You know what LeBron said? Huh? If my son don't pass out on these combines, he better be a shoo-in.
He better be what?
A shoo-in.
A shoo-in?
A shoo-in. That's white people terminology for guaranteed.
He's just kind of foot in the door type of deal?
He's a shoo-in. Guaranteed winner. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, that's some horse. That's some horse racing talk, I bet.
Yes, but he got to show, just kind of hold up in the combines. He'll be all right with that. Mm-hmm. But if it's this year, he's to come out, because LeBron probably, like I said, he only going to do another couple years or whatever. Mm-hmm. But he'll make it, man.
I think he's had a few. This is a pretty solid run, this last one. I've been seeing he's been performing decently.
Yeah, he was on... He was online talking to Giannis' brother. Giannis' brother. And asking him kind of like some of the things that you do to, to cope and everything.
To stay active out there on the court.
Yeah.
When
I think
you're catching towels.
Actually, he's never going to be good as his dad, right? But he's going to get out there and see the level of the game. And with his father's coaching, he's going to be a good pro player for about, I'm going to give him 3 seasons. That's
respectable.
I'm going to give him 3 good seasons to where he's never going to just be like his dad.
It's just good.
But he's going to come in and every 10th game, hit like 15 or something like that,
They're just different. LeBron's 6'8". I think he's like 6'1" or 2 or something.
And he's not his dad, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like LeBron only comes along once like every 50 years or something like that, man. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't in his seed. You know what I'm saying? We's free. We's free.
And this one off the top, bro.
Thank God Almighty. We's free. Wait,
this is a good.
Wait. What is this?
Mind Crusher.
Okay. And another thing we forgot, man. What episode is this?
This right here.
I think it's 19,
episode
right?
19, bro.
19.
19.
19.
In this card,
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer 19.
This is a part of Saturn. So there's a spaceship.
A part of Saturn?
A part of Saturn. So there's a spaceship that NASA built called Cassini.
You said NASA?
NASA.
NASA.
Called Cassini that actually flew to Saturn. Took pictures of all the moons and shit. And then flew right the fuck into Saturn. Like right the fuck in there. It got obliterated by Saturn's atmosphere, and now it's a part of Saturn. Like a piece of metal made by a bunch of monkeys on Earth is now a part of Saturn. How does that make you feel?
Yo, that makes me feel like it did. I think it was damn near probably the first episode made me just think about where did these cards come from, man?
That was an interesting right there, brother. A whole lot of mumbo jumbo, bro.
Where did these cards come from, man? And it had to be
and
from white folks, man.
And I just called them monkeys too, bro.
Because and I'm telling you, like the last ones, I'm subject about these people being racist or something like that. They always keep bringing up like monkeys and shit like that. Like they want some smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Calling people to work for NASA monkeys, though, if I'm not
mistaken. Then they said NASA, because you get that mixed up. You were just talking about Geppetto and Massa.
That's you, man. That's old
And that's
school,
why
man.
a lot of black people didn't want to work for NASA early on. Because that was too close to Massa, you know what I'm saying? They were saying, yes, NASA, no NASA, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of too much like, slavery and shit. So a lot of black people didn't want to work for NASA.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Serious, man.
Get out of here.
That's folklore.
Hey, but on a serious note, how long have you been married, OG Lee?
Shit, man, since 1988.
Damn, 1988.
12 plus 24, 36 years.
36 years.
Yes, indeed, man.
So, just from old school to new school, what would you say is, one of the keys to a longevity of a marriage, bro?
Man,
that's like unheard of nowadays.
The same with everything in life, which is the way you really have to do it. You take it day by day, literally everything. Mm-hmm. You don't like a job, for instance. You're looking for another job. How would you be taking things day by day? Your health. If you was even lying on your deathbed, how would you take it day by day? And then if you can deal with everything daily, living to the next day, after a while it becomes weeks. Months, years, just like you were talking about with the track record. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And important. If something is successful in your day to day, you keep it going. You know what I'm saying? You keep it going for as long as possible. And then once that, is not going right, you got to shift gears, change up whatever it is, still keep taking life as it's coming day to day, dealing with all of the ups and the downs and what have you, but just still keep grinding day to day, man. That's how you take anything.
Staying consistent day by day. Wise words, right?
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
You said 36 years, huh?
36 years, man. I believe in them vows. Amen.
I feel you, bro. That's respect.
Amen.
You instilled that in me, man.
When the justice of the peace said, till death do us part. Amen.
Amen.
That's what I'm living. Huh? And when you live a clean life. Amen. No, I haven't lived a clean life. But anyway, I've been, like I said, day to day, and just be positive with anything you're dealing with. Wake up, because things do change from a day-to-day basis, really. So if you really have a good attitude, glass half full instead of glass half empty, you really can change your circumstances, because it's always the way you look at stuff. And what I always try to do is look at people who are in a worse situation than I am. I always try to do that, and just think about that, like
Let
that.
you know it could be worse.
You can be in a much worse situation. And I used to like to go in the environments where people are suffering, and for instance, like I used to volunteer at the watershed, and that is something that after a while you kind of or depending on how you built, you kind of want that just to remind you, man, of where you are and where you could be.
And you giving back. That's
clutch
too. But in this
man.
marriage, you said 36 years, right?
36, man.
Was it a point where you and your partner, y'all were working?
What do you mean when you say working?
You like had a job type of deal, like y'all were?
Oh yeah, man. As a matter of fact, there was a good amount of time where, man, my wife used to work at night. I used to work in the daytime. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, then, kind of how did y'all handle like stuff to do around the house? How did y'all break things down when y'all was making it work out? Kind of expectation for chores and stuff like that.
Just getting it done, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever had to be done, the person start doing it, and the other person realizes, well, shit, I gotta help do that. Obviously,
teamwork type.
Because one of the things that really gets a marriage, it seems simple, man, that could get a marriage or a relationship messed up, is as we was talking about the other episode, with the man taking on like this masculine role, like shit, like it was back in the day. He saw maybe his father and his mother. He takes on the masculine role. Shit, I ain't cleaning no house or like cooking or this. My wife's supposed to do this. But it's changed, right? Where the woman now has to go out and go to work just like you. So you can't be saying, well, my wife should, do this. I'm not going to do this. My wife should do that. She's a woman. She should do this. She's a woman. She should do this. But the bottom line is, that's when you saw your mother doing that or your grandmother, when your dad, whatever, could go out and make it work for the family. The wife wasn't working. Now that she's working, what the fuck makes you think that she's going to want to come home and start doing some housework? I mean, some women are built like that, but I would say the majority of them, they want to come home and sit on their ass, and maybe rightfully so. They've been working all day. You know what I'm saying? So that's an interesting thing for some younger men probably, to just think about when you're thinking rationally. Damn, because a lot of them I hear, the noise where they're saying, like, hey, my wife doesn't do this. She don't want to cook. She don't want to this and this. But if she's working all day, she probably don't want to come home and do all of that shit, because everything you do requires work,
Is it ever, because some people, they get caught up on the aspect of like fair, and they're kind of like, counting sometime thing, keeping score on what's being done. Will you ever say that's fair, or is that even anything that you should even consider? Kind of when you're in a relationship and you're trying to make things kind of work with somebody. 36 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm just asking.
Well, the first thing you got to go into is saying whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, it has to be done. Mm-hmm. And if it's just a matter of you and your wife, because sometimes, once you start getting into a family, you start delegating shit. You know what I'm saying? If it's physical stuff that has to be done, right? Mm-hmm. That's where it comes in and they call it chores and shit or whatever you want to call them. So sometimes you can get stuff done like that, by delegating. It doesn't always have to be you or the wife, and that thing, the way you explain that to the kids is, again, it's got to get done. Who's supposed to do it? Just me and your mom all the time? When you guys are benefiting, eating, doing this, getting it dirty, the floor by walking on it, coming in and out like everybody else. Yeah. Right? So it just start from that, it has to be done. And I think, man, that if the husband and the wife are in tune, they got like a mental bank where they know what the other one has done. And then they just naturally take up the slack and get it done. Knowing, again, it's got to be done. You know what I'm saying? I seen her doing this, so boom, I'm going to do this part to make that work.
Both hands wash the face.
And totally be in tune with that, be attentive to detail. Yeah. And then again, every day it's just dealing with, a new thing, you know what I'm saying? And really putting that last day to rest, you know what I'm saying? Because that shit can never come back. And it really, in a lot of ways, can't affect what's going forward, you know what I'm saying? So this man wake up and say, fuck it, let's start again.
Would striving in a situation like that, you know what I'm saying? In a relationship, striving for perfection, should you do that, or is that overkill? Would you be kind of stressing yourself out?
Man, the only time you should strive for perfection is if you think you're perfect.
Hold on, say that again. Hold on, wait.
Man, the only way you should strive for perfection is if you think you're perfect. If you don't think you're perfect, which most people should realize they're not, man, just wake up and do your life. You know what I'm saying? And the most important part is to be you. You were made however you think you came along. You were made to be yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so do you. You might be that charismatic person that people follow what you do because you do it so well or whatever. You might be that person that nobody wants to be around. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is you are who you are and live that, man. Period.
Absolutely. I like that one, bro. Only strive for perfection if you think you're perfect.
But it does say a lot for people who strive for perfection. Like they say, you shoot for the moon, and if you fall short, you're still amongst the stars. So still give everything your all that you want to give to it. You know what I'm saying? But realize you're gonna always be in a position where you look to grow. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where that lack of perfection comes from.
I got you. Which this is one of my kind of last topics here, but with that being said, right, striving for perfection, giving it your best shot. When you see, or like when a kid's getting started like in something and they're just kind of in the early stages of it, at what point, or should you even consider like have the longevity of it? Like, does it look like they're apt to this, or does it look like they have the skills to do this, or do you even judge at that point? It's just,
man,
what you think?
I forget the name of the movie, but the dude in it was named OG Bobby Johnson. Was it OG Bobby Johnson? And
I don't want to butcher it.
At that time, man,
South.
I don't know, but everybody knows it because I was just getting ready to say it only played on BET. And BET would run the shit out of that movie, out of a lot of the movies at that time.
Johnson.
But BET would run the shit out of that movie. So, but anyway, I think that it ran for so many years that it could be a training tool in your arsenal. Huh?
Okay.
You don't know where I'm going, do you?
I'm trying to follow you, bro. I'm
the young blood, he was stealing. And the man came out and blew his motherfucking back out. Remember that?
Pause, yeah.
He had to go into the hospital.
Ricky, that one? No, that's a different one.
That must be a different one.
Yeah.
But the young blood had to go in the hospital, right?
Yeah.
And he had to convalesce over a period of time. And they introduced him to a sport. You could call it a sport. You remember that?
Stick up shit?
No. The nurse that was there, she introduced.
I'm tripping. Yeah,
he called it what?
Honky
ball.
Yeah.
Right? Now, when she first introduced him to it, he didn't like it. That's when it came here. I don't want to play this honky ball. Then after a while, what happened? He got good at it. He started loving honky ball, right?
Ping pong, shout out, yeah.
So that is the tutorial for the parent. You know what I'm saying? That sometimes you got to introduce them to it and give them time to get their feet wet, and before you know it, you'll find they like whatever it is. So don't let them cop out.
In that movie, he was like 11 or something, right? Like 12.
Okay, what does age have to do with it?
I'm saying these kids are just getting started. I'm talking about like this 4 or 5 early range.
Right, same thing. You know, you gotta
Okay.
let them get into it a little bit because they won't, know that they like it until you kind of get them into, playing it or doing it, whatever it is, and then they may find, oh, I like it after all, like he did with the honky ball. So I went a long way around that, but I just wanted people to know that I've seen OG Bobby Johnson movie.
Hey, you don't even know the name, just like me.
And they showed that shit them every night.
Nonetheless, you got to give them time and let it marinate a little bit. See how it's working on them.
Deuce hit. Eh? You remember that? Yeah, it was
Deuce hit. Hey,
every black family might know that shit.
Hey, but it's OG Lee. It's UNDE. It's old school, new school, man. Another one, episode 19 in the books, man. Come join us. Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube, man. Like us, love us, comment, subscribe. We out.